Welcome back to the Grace and Chosen Mom podcast, where we have real, raw, unfiltered, faith filled conversations about motherhood. Of course, I'm your host, Ambria, and today we are going to talk about being a strong mom. Listen, everyone want to say, that's a strong mom right there. But no one wants to talk about the pressures of being a strong mom. No one wants to talk about what it takes to be a strong mom, how it feels to be a strong mom. But today, we're going to talk about that. The first thing we're going to talk about are some of the pressures of being a strong mom. And the first pressure we're going to talk about is everybody depend on mom. Listen, y'all, I don't know if y'all remember back when ringtones were popular, especially still with Androids or whatever. There was this ringtone that said mama, mommy, and it was one of the cartoons. I can't remember exactly what cartoon it was. I want to say it was Family Guy or something. Anyway, I can't remember, but that's something that's just an example of everyone depends on mom. Listen, every time you turn around, it's mama. Can I have this? Mama, they did that. Mama. You know, you always hear mama when you are a mom. And even when they can't talk, it's always, hey, listen, that baby depend on you. That baby depend on you to eat. That baby depend on you to get fed, get clean, diaper change. That baby depend on you. Not only that, when I say everyone depends on you, let alone if you have I mean, not a sibling, if you have a spouse, you have a husband, that man want to eat. That man, want some time for just you and him. And men are big babies, let's be real. They don't really understand the responsibility that you have as a mother already. Sometimes it's just because they're wired different, but they depend on you. Everybody depend on mama. So that's one of the main pressures of being a strong mom. And sometimes you get tired of hearing mama. Sometimes you get tired of hearing baby. Sometimes you get tired of hearing whatever your name is. Everybody just depends on you. And another pressure that we're going to talk about is feeling like you cannot break down. Listen, because you get tired of everybody saying mama, you get tired of everybody saying baby, or every time not everybody, because baby, I hope everybody ain't saying baby. But you know what I mean. Every time you turn around, it's baby, it's mom, it's whatever your name is. And because society has taught you that, hey, you're a strong mom. You got this. You can do this. You feel like you can't break down. You feel like you're not supposed to break down because you feel like this is what you're obligated to do. Which to a certain extent is true. But that does not mean that you cannot break down. This is one of my favorite phrases that I like to tell anyone that comes to me about a problem, about a situation. Listen, have your moment, but don't let your moment have you. And this is my thing. This is kind of not talking about being a mom, but for a while, when it came to grief, when it came to losing my father, when it came to losing my grandmother, it was the same routine. I felt like I could not break down. I felt like I could not, especially with my grandmother, it was definitely heavy. I felt like I could not break down because everyone else depended on me. I knew it was tough. I knew it was rough losing my grandmother for all of us. But I felt that as though I could not break down. I felt like I couldn't cry. You know, I it was so instilled in me that I could not break down. I could not cry. That y'all, I did. I went through. I did her hair, make sure her hair was fine, ready for the funeral. I made sure everything was done as far as when we were making final arrangements, final plans. I remember the room just got silent, like nobody could talk. And so at that moment, I felt like, okay, I gotta do it. It started at the hospital, like nobody could talk. We got the news, nobody could talk. And at that moment, it was just something like, you gotta be the strong one. And just going through everything. I didn't cry. I didn't break down because I felt like I couldn't. But the side effect of it was later on, I broke down. Not because I wanted to, but I was forced to. I never forget pulling up in my mom's driveway and it just hit me. It just so happened. My sister and my cousin there were all over there. This was like months later, maybe like 2 months later. You know, I was forced to break down. So that's another thing about being a strong mom, because everyone depends on you. You feel like you cannot break down. But again, I want you to know that breaking down is not a sign of weakness. Actually, to me, it's a sign of being strong. And the reason I feel like it's a sign of being strong, because it's saying, I'm not okay. You know, it takes a lot to say, I'm not okay. But I know that everything is going to be okay. I know that everything is going to be okay, because if it happened, God has allowed it to happen. And God is going to give me the grace to get through it. So that's a sign of being strong. Um, and another thing is being praised for strength while silently struggling. And it kind of ties into what I just said, feeling like you can't break down or whatever the case may be, because people are praising you. Oh, you're doing so good. You're doing this. You're doing that. And silently, you're struggling. Silently, you're depressed. Silently, you at your breaking point. And as far as talking about being a mom and a new mom, that's something that we all, well, not all of us, but some of us, just like dealing with postpartum depression. Like, we felt like we're going through it, and that's a whole nother episode within itself. We're going to talk about that more into depth on another episode. But you feel like, hey, I can't let anybody know that I'm going through it, because, oh, you look so good. Okay, snap back. Okay, mom, snap back. Okay. But silently, you're struggling. And if anyone is going through that, I want to take the time to let you know that it's okay that you're going through it. You don't have to suffer in silence. There's somebody you can talk to. I don't care if it's me. I don't care whoever it is. There's someone that you can talk to. But even when you feel like you can't talk to a person physically, know that God is always there. Know that God is a healer. Know that God can carry you through, and He will carry you through. So that's just another pressure point of being a strong mom, because everybody say, you're strong or you're doing so good. You don't want them to know you really suffering in silence. But it's okay. It's okay, girl. It's okay, mom. Like, listen, trust me, it's okay. Trust me. We gonna talk about that in another episode, because I got a story about that. But um, the pressure to keep showing up no matter how tired you are, you know, and we have to show up because it's our responsibility. My mom used to say, "You got them kids, you got to take care of them kids." So yes, that's yo. Well, the old folks when you say that, they really used to say, "Did nobody tell you lay down and have the children?" Y'all know what they used to say. But anyway, so yeah, is you have to show up. It's our responsibility because we are mothers. But in that, it's okay to take a break. It's okay to say, today, y'all, I just need a break. Hey, babe, can you help me out today? Hey, mom, can you help me out? Hey, sis, today I just need to take a break. And again, yeah, you show up, no matter how tired you are, but some days you just have to say, can y'all please help me? And I've seen where some people say they just don't have that help, and I get it to a certain extent, but you know, again, you have to show up. It's your responsibility to show up, but know that when you're just tired, some days you're just tired, and some days your body just needs to rest. So yeah, like with all that, we smile through hard days. Again, when I say that, feeling the pressure of showing up when you're tired, like we feel like we can't rest. Don't feel like you can't rest. Like, and another thing for my new moms, listen, y'all, this is something that I wish I would have done. At the moment, I didn't see it. At the moment, I didn't. At the moment, I didn't see it. At the moment, I was like, honestly, I felt like that it would help me, but it actually affected me later on down the line. And I was at church one day, and a lady told First lady told me, she said, I was out before my 6 weeks actually. And she said, them old people knew what they was talking about. Just paraphrasing. She said the old people know what they was talking about. Y'all young people, y'all don't listen. But those 6 weeks are important and y'all will see it down the line. And I saw it in my body, but I didn't. I saw it in my body, but I saw it more mentally. So meaning that, for like I said, for my new moms, or anyone that's pregnant or whatever the case may be, those 6 weeks, if you can, take them. And I've also saw situations where people like, I just can't afford to be off 6 weeks. I got to go back 2 weeks. I got to go back in 3 weeks or whatever the case may be. But however long you are able to, take that rest. Take that rest. Like, let your body rest. And when that baby sleep, sleep. But for us that has, or for the ones that have older kids, listen, tell them kids, look, go in your room today. Go in there right now. I need some rest today. So, you know, don't feel guilty for feeling like you need rest. We take care of everybody else when we're exhausted. That's like that was one of my first points, kind of. It's one of the main things about being a strong mom. You smile, like I said earlier, you smile through hard days. And strong moms get tired too, y'all. Like, they get tired. They just don't always feel safe enough to say it. And I don't know why I'm led to say this, but also for us to have parents that are still here. You know, I'm so sorry, y'all. I know my throat is scratchy. But parents or grandparents that are still here, listen, y'all, they get tired too. So make sure we give them the grace that they need, the rest that they need, the time that they need. Because again, they're so accustomed to going, and not saying, let's be real. Like, back in the days, it was taught that you don't supposed to say you're not okay. This what you do. This what you're supposed to do. Um, so a lot of times they don't really voice their opinions. But they get tired. They're strong. They're some strong women from back in the days. But trust me, again, they get tired, y'all. So it's like being strong, you can end up, the mental overload is crazy. Nobody talks about the mental exhaustion, I would say. The mental exhaustion of being a strong mom. Like, some days you just can't think straight. Like, some days you're just trying to figure it out today, you know? Um but I want you to know that, again, back to the point of being rest. Rest is not weakness. Saying you're not okay is not being weak. Having a moment is not being weak. It's actually, those are all signs of being strong. And I want you to know that you deserve support too. Like, don't be afraid to ask for support. They either just gonna say yes or they're gonna say no. Not only don't be afraid to ask for support, take the support that's given to you. And I know me, as being a new mom, like, that's one of my weaknesses, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. Like, because I feel like it's no one else's responsibility. So somebody will be like, hey, I get Jax today, or whatever. Baby, listen, I'll be like, Jax, baby, I get tired of Jax sometimes. Not like that, y'all, because I love my baby now. Don't get me wrong. But some days Jackson can be a lot. So I don't want to put that on someone else, but I'm learning to accept the support if I have it. Some people don't have support, so be grateful for the support. Now, I ain't saying take it to the extreme for your support, which is support now, but don't be afraid to use your support. And when I say don't take it to the extreme, baby, just because these people don't help, don't send them folks over. Don't send that baby over there just because. No, if you really need a mental day, or a day of rest or something, and you have the support, don't be afraid to use that. Don't be afraid to use that support. Take breaks without guilt. Stop glorifying burnout, y'all. Like, we be thinking, oh, okay, I can do this, I can do that, I'm strong, I can do this, I can do that, I don't need nobody. Baby, that's a lie. Ain't nobody got time to be sitting around here about to lose their mind, you know. So take that support, baby. Mm, I ain't trying to be burnt out all the time. I ain't gonna lie, but you don't have to earn rest by completely exhausting yourself first, you know, meaning that your body is forcing you to shut down, meaning that your mind is forcing you to shut down, because not only sometimes that our body forces us to shut down, sometimes our mind forces us to shut down because we just been going and going and going and going and going and racing and racing and racing and racing and racing and racing and racing. Listen, and be honest about how you feel, y'all. Like, when I say be honest about how you feel, like I said earlier, it's okay to have your mama, but don't allow your mama to have you. I'm tired today. I don't feel like it today. Be honest about how you're feeling. So when somebody asks you, hey, how you doing today? Oh, girl, I'm fine. You know, I'm doing good. That's a lie. You know you lying. You finna cry as soon as you get in that car. Girl, let these folks know you're not okay. Let these folks know, like, today just ain't that day. Or I'm just having my moment. Or, you know, this week has been a tough week for me. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I feel this way. But I'm not okay. Like, it's okay to be honest about your feelings, because I want you to know this about being honest about your feelings. You're not the only one. You're not the first one, and you won't be the last one. And you will actually be surprised at how many people are going through the same thing as you're going through. Like, listen, y'all, when I realized another thing that made me have, you know, do the podcast was because I realized so many women are suffering in silence. Like, so many moms are suffering in silence. Postpartum depression is real, y'all. And I did not, God humbled me. I'm gonna say that. This is what I tell people when I talk about it. God humbled me, because for a while I knew it was real, but I didn't know it was real to that extent. Um, but again, being honest about your feelings and emotions is, you're not the only one. It's okay, girl. You're don't be ashamed. Trust me. You don't be ashamed. And if somebody say, "Oh, you're doing too much," or somebody say, "I just don't understand," they're not your people. It's okay. But this right here, this space is for you. It's for you if you're one of those people that feel unheard, you feel unseen, you feel alone, or whatever the case may be. This space is for you. And I'm for you. You know, I'm here for you. That's my purpose. To help mothers that feel that way. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Kind of on the same lines of being honest about your feelings. Don't be afraid to ask for help, y'all. Like, it's okay not to be okay. And this is not a postpartum episode, but for some reason right now I'm being led to, especially my new moms. Like, it's okay to ask for help, but not only my new moms, like the women that have kids that are playing sports or whatever the case may be, y'all, it's okay to ask somebody, hey, can you pick my child up today? You know, or can you do this for me today? I'm not able to do it today. I need some help today, you know. Whatever the case may be, like, don't be afraid to ask for help, because you don't have to do it all by yourself. I promise you don't. Like, you don't have to do it all by yourself. And I'm praying for every mother that God sends you the help that you need. God sends you the support that you need. Not only help and support that you need, but I'm praying for genuine help and support. And I also pray that God grace you the grace, and God grace you the ability to accept the help, and know that it's okay to get help. Know that it's okay to say how you feel. Know that it's okay to express your feelings and emotion. Know that it's okay to say that you're not okay. You know, that's my prayer for each and every one of you on this, that's watching this podcast. And that's for the ones that have small babies, small kids, the ones that have not yet birthed their child, the ones that have older kids, whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter. I want you to know that strength isn't pretending you're okay all the time. Strength is being real enough to admit that you're not okay. So that's just to sum everything up that we pretty much talked about in this podcast, y'all. Like, yeah, it's cool to say, oh, she's such a strong mom, but I want you to know that it takes a lot to be a strong mom. But out of everything that it takes of being a strong mom, know that you don't have to do it alone. Know that you're not alone. Know that it's okay not to be okay. Know that it's okay to express your feelings. Know that it's okay to have your moment. But guess what? Don't allow your moment to have you. Like, that's one of my biggest things. It's okay to be the strong mom. It's okay to be a strong mom. But sometimes you just have to take a break and take a step away and say, hey, today I just need a moment. So that's my thing. Like, you are human. Everybody is human. Yeah, you are a mom. Mom is a superpower. It's true. You snap into something that you did not realize you had in you. And I can say that as being a new mom. Like, I didn't. Some of the things that I do, being a mom, like, I realized, like, man, I thought I was strong. Like, now I snap into things and I do things. It's like an instinct that just kick in, that you don't even realize. But even with that, even with the grace, even with the chosenness that God has chosen you for motherhood, and even with the grace that God graces you with to do the things that you do during motherhood, know that you are also human. So yeah, extend that grace that you extend to everybody else, to yourself. And again, you don't have to carry everything alone. So this is this episode. I thank y'all for spending this time with me on this episode. I want you to remember to stay chosen, stay graced, and remember to keep showing up. If this episode bless you, make sure you share it with a mom that this episode would also bless. All right. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next episode. Later, mom.